Thank you for being with us today from NutriFort Lifestyle Center. We shall be addressing a very important question. Why are young people dying? A lot of obituaries I have seen recently, a lot of deaths that have been announced are for people that are within the age of 50, 55 downward. And the manner of death seems to be mysterious. You hear of people going to bed and then the next morning they are found dead. Or somebody is just walking and then he collapses and that is the end of life. Why is it so? There must be a reason. There's nothing that comes without a cause. The lives we live, the kind of lifestyles we adopt will either determine our longevity or the shortness of our lives. It is God's desire that we live abundant life. It is God's desire that we live healthy. But it is painful that young people, unmarried are dying, young men and women dying and leaving widows and widowers and little children behind. Something needs to be done. We need to go back and examine the kind of life we are living. The food that God has given us is to be for food and medicine. And food should actually be our medicine. 8 principles of health that God has given us. Nutrition, our food, we can't just afford to be careless about it. There are things that looks very beautiful in the eyes. There are things we eat that are sweet. There are things we drink that are sweet and exotic, and we think it is modernization, civilization. We adopt this Western diet, and it is really biting. It is cutting down our lives. The original diet God gave man is plant-based diet. But when we go on artificials, when we go on animal diet, when we go on synthetic things and artificial food, refined food, and the rest of them, we cannot just escape the consequences, cause and effect. It is also important that we exercise. Movement is the law of life. God made us to be active. A lot of us are living sedentary lives. We are comfortable sitting for 24 hours, for 12 hours, at the stretch without moving, without doing active labor and the rest of them, and this is taking a toll on our health. I know that a lot of us want to make it in life. The economy is bad, and to make ends meet, we need to work extra hard, but not at the detriment of our health. We need to find time to rest. As we exercise, we need to find time to rest. We need to keep hydrated. As simple as water is, it can prevent a lot of diseases. It can bring healing. It can thin our blood. It can enhance circulation of blood, taking care of cardiovascular diseases and the rest of them. It is important that we keep hydrated. Make it a habit that every day you take at least not less than 8 cups of water. Take it little by little. Always have a water bottle beside you that would remind you to take water. Another thing or another principle that God has given us is temperance. Whatever is good, let us do it in moderation. Yes, work is good, but there should be moderation. There's a time for everything, a time to work and a time to rest. In an effort to make ends meet, don't forget that when you collapse, when you go, other people will enjoy the fruit of your labor. Whatever you're trying to accumulate, other people will come and use it uselessly. So it is important that we rest. It is important that we strike a balance in all that we do. Yes, food is good, but we shouldn't also overeat. There are things that are good that should be used in moderation. There are things that are completely bad for us. Tobacco, it's not good. It is not food. Cigarette, alcohol, all these caffeinated drinks, coffee, they are not good for our health, and so we shouldn't even tamper with them. We should make out time with our families. Emotional health is important. A lot of people are sick today mentally because they are not having balanced relationship. God made us and fixed us in different families that we may draw strength from each other. We're to make each other happy. We are to tolerate one another. We're to be kind to one another. But in a situation whereby we are in an abused relationship, it will take a toll on our health negatively. If you are a husband, it is your responsibility to love and to care for your family. It is your responsibility to provide food, shelter, and clothing for your family. These are basic necessities of life. But it is unfortunate that today you see women trying to provide for the family. You see women trying to pay the school fees of children. You see women trying to do the things that men are supposed to do. If you are a man and you're pushing your wife into that extreme, that is a sign of irresponsibility, and God is not happy with that. I am not saying that women shouldn't support, or women shouldn't do something in the family, but then there are responsibilities that are earmarked for a man as the head of the family to do. If you are a woman, it is also your responsibility to love your wife, to love your husband, to appreciate whatever he is doing in the house, not comparing him with others, but whatever he is able to bring, you appreciate, you encourage him, and then together you plan your lives together. You don't become secretive as a man. You don't become just you don't love other people outside beyond your family. And of course, as children, we also have the responsibility of loving, appreciating, and showing gratitude, to our parents for what they are doing. Marriage can be a source of good health. Marriage can also take a toll on your relationship negatively, your health rather negatively, if it is not healthy, if the relationship is not it's not what God expected to be. Another principle of life, another principle of health, is trusting in God. You cannot just overrule this. Yes, you may eat healthy, you may exercise, you may take enough water, you may breathe fresh air, you may exercise temperance and the rest of them, but without trusting in God, life is not complete. Things are hard, I know it. Economically, politically, there's unrest everywhere, and other difficulties of life. And so the only thing that can help us stand, the only thing that can help us to be happy and be healthy amidst all these things is having a solid relationship with God. And this can be established by studying His Word daily. You cannot claim to love somebody, you cannot build a relationship with somebody if you don't spend time with that person. And that is how it is with God. Spend time with God every morning. Don't wait for corporate worship. I mean personal study and connection with God. Every morning before you set out, commit your day to God. Trust your problems to Him. Tell Him all that concern. God expects to do great things for us, but we need to trust Him. We need to know Him. Prayer and the study of God's word cannot just be overemphasized. It is important. Remember that it is God's desire that we live healthy. It is God's desire that we live abundant life. And these are the true remedies. They can prevent diseases, and they can also reverse whatever condition, whatever health condition we may be passing through. Please, let's take our health seriously. Do all it takes to remain healthy for you and for your family.